Want to know how to fix your tennis elbow? Well, you're in the right place. Hey everybody, it's Dr. Joe and Sweet Remy, and today I'm going to show you ways to fix tennis elbow working the whole chain. So let's get started. So with these stretches and exercises, you're going to need a couple pieces of equipment, just a small weight. If you don't have a 1 or 2 pound weight, you can use a soup or vegetable can or a super vegetable can, which people think I say sometimes when I say them together. And then a resistive band. Make sure it's the lightest one. If you don't have a resistive band, that's okay. I'll show you the exercise without the band, but if you have one, that's great. That'll work best. So with tennis elbow, a lot of times it's coming from other parts of the body and you're just getting the most stress at the elbow. But you want to work the tennis elbow area anyway, so we're going to start off with just a super simple exercise. So take your weight. If you want to prop up your arm like on a table or something, or just even on your leg, you can do that, or you can hold it up in the air. It just depends on how comfortable it is for you while you're doing the exercise. So you just want to work those wrist extensors, because the tennis elbow or lateral epicondylitis is those wrist muscles going up to the elbow and getting irritated. So if you want to prop up here, just so you can focus on the exercise, you're going to start down low so you get that full motion, and just nice and smooth come up as far as you comfortably can. So with this, you don't have to go fast. If you want to go a little faster than me, you can, but you want to make sure it's controlled. As far as reps, sometimes I like to just do for time, so like 30 seconds, do as many as you comfortably can, and then you can slowly work up to more numbers in that 30-second time period. But again, just going nice and slow. This really is just using momentum, not exercising. If you go slower, you're definitely going to feel it more. After you do that, we're going to go into stretching the wrist extensor muscles. So these are a really great way, again, just to get that irritation out of there by stretching those muscles. So put your arm straight out, and then you can take your other hand and just pull downwards this way. So you're going to get the stretch in those extensors there. So it's not extension, it's extensor muscles. If you are stretching here and you're not getting quite enough, if you curl your fingers in, you're going to get a much bigger stretch. So I'd say maybe leave your fingers down to start off with. You're probably going to feel it, especially if you have that tennis elbow. And then holding that for 30 seconds, coming up. If you're feeling a little bit better, then you can go down and then curl those fingers in, doing that 3 times. If you want to see some follow along real-time videos where I'm doing the full 30 seconds and the whole routine, you can check on the link up there. So then we're going to go into a wrist flexor stretch, because even though these muscles that are on the other side of the elbow, you really want to get that whole area loosened up. So it's a little bit different with this one. So if you curl your fingers, it's a little bit less stretch. So now I'm getting that stretch underneath on the inside of the elbow area there. But if you're not getting much stretch there, if you open up your palm and open up those fingers towards the ceiling and then pull a little bit, you're going to get a big stretch in there. So you're getting that nice stretch. Sometimes what I like to do is then just alternate back and forth. So now I'm getting the wrist extensors and then coming up and getting the wrist flexors. So you just give them a break in between those 30-second repetitions. So again, 30 seconds, 3 of each of those. And then once you get that nice and stretched out, you can let it shake it out a little bit. And then going into a supination, pronation exercise. So then just bend your elbow, have it kind of towards your side here, because you want the movement to be here. It's not your whole arm yet. We're going to be moving up to the shoulder in just a second. But so bending the elbow really focuses again on that forearm area, usually where you're feeling a lot of that pain. So if you come up with your palm here, this is supination, like you're holding a bowl of soup. That's how to remember it. And then rotating back down into the pronation. So this is more of just a continuous motion, not necessarily a stretch, but more of an exercise with maybe a little stretch on the end. If you want to get a little bit more of a stretch there, you can hold something like a hammer, and the heaviness of the hammer rolling over will give you a little bit of a stretch. You could also do it with the dumbbell or the soup can. So I'm holding it here, rotating it over. That weight is giving that little bit more of a pull that way. and then coming back over, and then again, that weight coming this way. It's just getting that extra little kind of stretch along with that exercise. So same thing, instead of actually counting the reps, if you just want to do a 30-second time, and then however many you can comfortably do in that time period usually works really well. Sometimes with tennis elbow, the reason people, especially if you're playing tennis, but there's other ways to get tennis elbow, the reason you get that tennis elbow is maybe you don't have good motion in your thoracic area in the spine up here. And so when you're doing things, if you're not getting that good motion, then all that pressure ends up being here. If you're swinging that racket, if you're not getting that full rotational motion, then you're stressing out that elbow a little bit more. So the thoracic stretch is a great way to kind of open everything up here, get a little more rotation. So we're going to do a rotation stretch, really to loosen it up so you have more mobility in other places. One of my favorite stretches, so you don't have to lie down. If you're lying down, there's some great ones lying down. But this one, just a nice thoracic rotational stretch. Just kind of place your hands up behind your head. You want to keep your back straight. So this isn't curling down, but I'm rotating kind of downward with my elbow towards my opposite knee. I'm not going down and touching it like that. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm just rotating and going down. So see, I'm keeping my back straight. I'm not curling it down to touch. I'm rotating down, and I'm getting a great stretch in my thoracic back area right there. And then coming back up, this doesn't, again, have to be a full 30-second stretch, but maybe like a 10 to 15 second stretch. If you want to hold the full 30 seconds, if you're like, oh yeah, this feels good, you can definitely hold it a little bit longer, but you can also do these just, you know, a little bit more continuously or of less of a hold for this stretch. But that is, I feel a really good stretch. I don't know if you heard it. I got a couple of nice little pops in that thoracic spine. So that's a good way to kind of open that up. Another thing is the shoulder. If the shoulder is tight, it's the same thing. If you're not getting good shoulder movement, you're going to get more stress at your elbow because your elbow is having to work harder because you're not getting that full motion at your shoulder, and so it's taking on more of the stress. So another simple one to do is just seated tees. You can also do these prone or lying on your stomach, but that makes it a little bit more difficult, so that might be a progression that you can do. So you're just hands straight out, thumbs kind of in that upward position. I'm just opening up, so I'm opening up that chest, I'm getting those shoulders working, and then I'm coming back in. So this is kind of a combination, chest opening up, but I'm also working my shoulders as well. So same thing with this. If you just want to do it for time, see how many you can comfortably do. If this is a little bit uncomfortable, you can go down a little bit, but this is to help work the shoulder as well. So usually about that 90-degree position, and really come back, really squeeze those shoulder blades together when you come back, and then come back in. And then so again, for the shoulder, strengthening with a resistive band is a really nice way to get, again, those rotations. So like if you're, especially if you are playing tennis, you're getting that rotation movement. So you want that strength there in that shoulder. Otherwise, the elbow is going to end up taking on a lot of that stress. And it's really not designed to do that. You know, the shoulder has a lot more motion than that elbow. So getting your resistive band, again, if you don't have a resistive band, that's okay. You don't have to do this with the resistive band. Keeping your elbows by your side, that's the key. You don't want your elbows to come away from your side. Thumbs up, try and keep your wrists in a nice neutral position, and then you're just pulling out and nice and slow coming back in. So again, the elbows are staying by your side. It's not coming out like this. That kind of changes the exercise. You want to get that rotation in the shoulder. So elbows stay close, pulling out, and I'm nice and slow coming back in. I really like resistive bands because they're going to give you that tension going out and coming back in. So, you know, if it's something that you can get and that you're cleared by your doctor or physical therapist to use, they're great to use. But you can also just do this rotation this way. You can also do it isometrically, like hold on to a belt or something and you're pulling, so you're not actually moving, but you're activating those external rotators in your shoulder, which is great as well. But eventually, using the band is really what's going to do some great strengthening in that area. So there you have it. That was ways to fix a tennis elbow. If you'd like to check out some other videos, click on the link up there, and don't forget to subscribe by clicking down there. And remember, be safe, have fun, and I hope you feel better soon. Yeah.